Also, I'd like to point out, some of you know, I'm one of the online appraisers for Chesapeake Collectibles, and I'd like to give the show a plug. We just had our second season just finished airing, and over the summer we have filmed our third season. And they will begin airing the first week in January in 2013. I have on for the new show, we actually, for the first time, we went on the road. If you're not familiar with it, this is basically the state level of the Antique Roadshow, but done here in Maryland, sponsored by Maryland Public Television. And I looked at stuff from 18th century, 19th century documents to a very interesting story we're tuning into, the last baseball to be autographed by Cal Ripken as an Oriole player. Yeah, because the guy who had him autograph it drove him around in Camden Yards on the day he retired, and he got out of the car, he signed the autographed baseball, stepped down the dugout. Under the rules, when you go into the dugout, you are officially retired. And amazingly, man, he contacted the Oriole organization and wanted to get a letter of authenticity, and they say, no way, it doesn't happen. No owners have ever done that for any memorabilia. He contacted Peter Angelos. Angelos wrote him a letter, man, this large letter on his stationery as the authenticity of the baseball. So that'll just give you a little taste of what might be coming up. Anything like this, again, I could go on for hours about what's in the book. Buy the book, and I'd like to be able to get together and talk to people about what's in there and some of the stories behind it. But any project like this certainly has been a lot of people be able to make it happen. First, and most importantly, I'd like to give my kudos and thanks to Bert Kummerow. This is Bert back in 2006 for the opening of their exhibit with another big influence in my life, the late William L. Brown. Bert turned me on to the daguerreotype. Here's a guy who collected daguerreotypes in the 1960s, man. Nobody collected anything like that in the 1960s. He introduced me to Miller's photographic history of the Civil War, and most importantly, these two gentlemen introduced me into the skills and the importance of doing significant research to be able to uncover their stories. And if Bert had not been here, this book would not have happened. I also would like to thank Dr. Patricia Anderson. Pat, are you here? She shepherded this book through the Historical Society's publishing, and she recognized its importance very early on and was able to make it happen. Rick Cottam, he's editor extraordinaire and also a good historian, was always asking me, where'd you get this story from? I want to see the facts. I want you to do your citations, and keeping my feet to the fire on that. And Donna Scher, Donna here? Donna was, she had the incredible job of securing the rights for all of the images in the book from both institutions and from the collectors. There's more than 400 images in the book. It was quite a job. She also did the indexing for that as well. And I would also like, because this was a group project, I could never have done this on my own. It was the other dedicated collectors, people who have sacrificed the new car. People have sacrificed taking a vacation. I'll tell you what, in a few cases, there's people who sacrifice their marriages in collecting, preserving, and interpreting Maryland's photographic history. And they did it without any federal support, state support, local support, income tax deductions, none of it, because they had the passion to know how important it was. First, I'd like to mention Gil Barrett. Gil Barrett, Arthur G. Barrett and his wife Deborah were not able to come up here. They live in North Carolina. Significant collection of 19th century American photography. Dave Mark, who is here with us tonight. Dave, can you stand? Where are you, Dave? Dave, thank you. Dave, we should give him a hand. Dave has the most significant collection of Maryland Confederate photographs, period. And he was so generous to be able to lend to our 2006 exhibit. He was then again generous to allow me to be able to bring them to you in this publication. And he will be sitting out there at the table to sign these books along with me, because again, this is a team effort to be able to make this happen. Alan Poliansky, who could not be here tonight, contributed, been a longtime collector, a great collection of point lookout images and related memorabilia. Brigadier General Warner Sumter, who was here tonight. General Sumter, where are you? Yeah, if you stand up there for a moment, here. General Sumter was both a lender to the book and also a donor to be able to make the book be able to happen. And this book retails for $29.95, 313 pages, 400 images, and it's full color. And we printed it in the United States. That was able to happen because of the contributions of people who felt that this was a significant project to do and be able to bring it out and keep it inexpensive, but a top-notch publication. Dan Toomey, could you stand there, Dan Toomey? Dan Toomey, I'm sure many of you are familiar with many of his publications from Toomey Press. Dan, very supportive of doing the exhibit in 2006. Dan worked with me to be able to put the catalog for the 2006 exhibit out there, otherwise it would have never happened. And Dan was very generous in the lending of his images for this landmark publication as well. Fabulous collection, Maryland Union. And it is through these major collectors, Bob Zeller, who I've also mentioned, could not be, I think he had to be out in Missouri this weekend, couldn't be here, has done so much, particularly when you look in the book of the Antietam photographs of the Smoketown Hospital that was set up at Antietam after the battle, also the images that were taken in Annapolis of the hospitals in Annapolis, many of those come from Bob Zeller. So this book, in the efforts that went into it, this book is not about me. And it's really not about all the collectors that were involved. This book purpose was to be a fitting memorial to these Marylanders who fought so valiantly and died so bravely for what they believed in to make us the country and the state that we are today. So I look forward to hear your reactions to the book after you've seen it, and I thank you very much for coming out here on a Friday night when there's lots of stuff to do. If any, I could probably entertain some questions if anybody wanted to, had a question. Anybody have a question about what there is? Yes, sir.
I've heard it said that there are far more images of Confederate prisoners and Confederate dead than Union dead. Is that, would your research bear that out?
I would venture to guess yes, because there would be, but a lot of it for the dead, a lot of it depended really on the part of the battlefield that they arrived on and took advantage of. And also because, you know, you look at the vanquished, look at the remains of the vanquished as well. So, yeah, I would have a tendency to concur with that. Anybody else? Well, we'll be out, Dan Toomey, Dave Mark, General Sumter. We'll be out there to be able to sign books. And again, thank you very much for coming out here tonight.